Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic and that's also my screen name. Today we are back with more Darktide. We are looking at the Psyker today. So we're gonna go ahead and go through some build info and whatnot. As you can see, I've got everybody at level 30. So we're gonna do some tips and tricks and build info for the Psyker and gear choices and why. I very much enjoy the Psyker. It's one of the only classes that doesn't get grenades. It gets a brain burst ability instead. Just waiting on the load times here. There we go. So I'm having a bit of the same issue with my veteran and my psyker in that I haven't played them in a little while. So there are some really nice things at the store. My item levels are a little better on this character, but they're still not great. My preacher has a really nice weapon over here that he can buy, but he can't afford it. And I cannot pull off all of the weeklies in the next 5 hours, so there's no way he could possibly get it. Now, I did buy a staff from here only to find out that it wasn't as good as what I already had, so that was disappointing. And a waste of points, but that's alright. Let's give a look in the store and see what we've got going on here. So we've got... damage is better, charge rate is not as good, blast radius is not as good, warp resistance is slightly better, quill speed is not as good. There's absolutely no reason for me to buy this. This is a little bit better than this, but with everything else factored in, that charge rate is way more important on this particular style of staff. So if we look at this one, the quill speed's too low on that one. Damage is pretty good though. So yeah, we're pretty much stuck there. So we're going to take a look at our build here. So we're running replenish 10% toughness when we kill an enemy with a warp attack. Now because in our loadout we are running both the warp sword and the staff, both of those count as warp attacks provided we charge the sword. So that's going to proc fairly frequently. Psykinetics Wrath. Gain between 5 and 15% with force weapon attacks based on current peril. That's awesome. That means the more we use our staff, the more it builds the peril, the stronger the attacks get. Whenever myself or an ally in coherency kills an enemy, I have a 4% chance to gain a warp charge. Warp charges increase damage. I believe it's... Yep, killing an enemy with brain burst earns a warp charge. Each charge grants 3% damage. So that's really awesome. Stacks up to 4. And you can get it to stack up to 6 if you go up here. But I took this instead. I have a 10% chance on hit to brain burst a target. And it only has a 15% or 15-second cooldown rather. So that's super nice. And occasionally it even picks the big ones. But back over here. So here we've got take between 10% and 33% reduced toughness damage from ranged attacks based on our current number of warp charges. So that's nice because ranged attacks are going to be one of our number 1 killers if we're not careful. We already covered that one. And then this one, for 10 seconds after using Psykinetics Wrath, Brain Burst charges 25% faster and consumes 50% less peril. So... that's really nice. You can get 2 brain bursts, and it puts you between 80 and 85% peril. So generally speaking, on like the bosses or something, or a monstrosity, something huge, I will brain burst it twice and then use my class skill because it quells 50% peril, and then brain burst it a third time. Now with this, I can brain burst it twice, quell 50% peril, and then brain burst it twice more. So that's phenomenal. So that's our brain burst. We target an enemy and deal damage. So something that this doesn't tell you, and it's very important to playing the Psyker, is if you right-click, you can actually charge up your brain burst without having a target. And it will target whatever your cursor happens to be over. If you left-click, then it locks on, and you can look wherever you want. You don't have to maintain line of sight, and it will kill that thing. So if you say hear a poxburster but you can't see him yet, start charging with your right click, and then as soon as you see him, switch to left click, and he's toast before he gets to the group. Very useful. Kinetic presence. Allies and coherency gain plus 10% damage against elite enemies. This is a pushback stagger, and it is only in front of you. And it quells 50% of peril, which is what I use it for most often. Warp siphon. Killing an enemy gives you warp charges. And then battle meditation, 10% chance to quell 10% peril on kill. Now, when you quell, you cannot move very quickly. You walk very slowly when you're quelling. And there is a feat that will... There is a feat... There we go. Movement speed is not reduced while quelling peril. The reason that we don't take that is running a staff. You quell at normal walk speed, so you just switch to your staff, quell, and then carry on. The only downside is, with both of them, you cannot sprint while quelling peril, and with the way that groups work, that can be a problem. I'm thinking about reworking these a little bit. I've got 2 wounds and a toughness, but with chip through, I'm thinking about changing the toughness to health, and I have a health one. The only reason that I haven't already swapped out for it is this one's got corruption resistance to grimoires. So grimoires give you about an injury's worth of, or a wound's worth of corruption, purple. But they also do creeping damage over time, and it's very slow, but it does creep up. So this will slow that creep. So we're going to go ahead and do a warm-up mission. So I use 2 different types of staves. Sometimes I use a third. When I play Sienna in Vermintide 2, I very much enjoy the coruscation staves. So I actually have 2 coruscation staves as well, and you can tell what they do here. So very low damage, but it's dot. It's damage over time. So what it does is basically sets a bonfire, and then enemies can walk into it. Now, if I'm running in groups that don't like to stay together, then I want something that can damage hordes, that can clear hordes for me. Because if they're not going to stick together, I need to be able to protect myself. So for the warm-ups, I usually do a tier 2, and I will run this staff, because this one will allow me to clear hordes, because if you've played the game, then you know in the lower tiers, the groups don't stay together. You get a lot of new players, and everybody scatters, and it's a problem. In the higher tiers, people tend to stay together because you're going to die if you don't. So in the lower tiers, I tend to run the Mark IV, which basically works like a fireball staff. It calls it a blaze bolt, but it's the same concept. And then in the higher tiers, I will run the Staff 6, which is Staff-bound Smite. It basically looks like Force Lightning, and it stuns everything. And it's really, really nice for hordes. You can stun massive amounts of enemies while your group just tears them apart. So for our warm-up, though, we're going to run our Fireball Staff and handle that accordingly. Let's see, there's a dog one. There's a repair with Grims. And there's an espionage. You know what? I'm just going to go random. I really don't want the dog one, but either of the other two's fine. There's nothing ideal like an assassination or something quick. So, random it is. And this is taking surprisingly long to find a group. It's taking quite a while to find a group. I like the way that the Psyker's eyes glow, too. That makes me happy.
Heretics have disabled Manufactorum HL1736's cooling system.
Alright, full group. Hey, and the dude over here on the left has the helmet, which means that he's done many of the quests required. I think he's got the pre-order helmet.
Once cryonic rods are deployed correctly, mark you varlets, the system will stabilize and you will have proven somewhat useful.
I was not paying attention at all to the servo skull, so I have no idea which mission we got. So he's going to be a preacher, and I think both of these are... I know he is a veteran. I'm not entirely sure what he is. Probably a veteran. I think they're wearing the same chest piece. And then I'm obviously on Psyker. So all we're missing is an Ogren. Okay, I can charge my sword, which also gives peril if you notice. And then I can quell peril while moving with this. Or if I were to try to quell peril while walking, I move very slowly. And I went the wrong way. So my left click is just a quick jolt. And aiming is important on that. My right click is a charge, and it throws a ball that explodes. Aiming is much less important on that. Ammo! So yeah, I have no idea which way they came. Ooh, here we go. So see, I'm locked onto him. So if I move where the floor is blocking LOS, it's not an issue. So let's... And here I can charge and then highlight and lock on and kill him. So I took out both of the gunners. I got a bomber over there. So that's helpful.
Sights on this corner off can be like sharpshooter.
So basically, I am trying to play the elite sniper for everybody. That was a horde. So this is not as useful as the power sword. If I hit somebody with a charged attack from this sword, it does not just slash through everything the way the power sword did. It will pop their head instead. We're actually hitting people through the wall. So see, yeah, it does that, which is less than useful.
Every eye's the same. Friggin' gang is stinking the place.
It's great for elites. It is not great for your normal mobs.
Scum of the earth. I've seen them get trained up to be pretty good soldiers.
And that's where its major damage comes from, is that head burst. And that's what I mean about clearing hordes with this staff. before I could. That will happen frequently to you on Psyker as well. There's the sniper. The sniper I can help with. I don't see him. I can handle the crusher though. Okay, so that's the difference in speeds on that feat. If you saw how much faster those second two charged.
No way back up.
Boonk. Not the most efficient, but can be fun. I never did see the sniper.
I want to see some proper
I'm guessing one of the gunners got him.
Understand? You would think to give commands to me. Me?
Motionless. A shameful lack of productivity. Follow the conveyor to the overseer's office.
Nice.
Ammo!
This isn't the new map, is it?
Crack shotgunner!
They released a new map here relatively recently. Yeah, he's done. He just doesn't know it yet. So the other downside with the Psyker is the brain burst doesn't really scale well.
Oh, good shot!
With later content, the 3s and 4s, brain burst is much less useful than it is right now. Hey, rude. No, no, no. Oh, I got him. I heard the gun charging. Oh, hi.
Oh, a healer stick.
Are you guys? Oh, this looks a little more familiar now. Whoa, hi there.
I fear thee enough, heretic.
Yeah, the melee weapon's a little lackluster, as is the brain burst in the higher tiers, so it makes it rather difficult to play in higher tiers. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Too much charge. Damn. Works better in the open. That's that pre-charge I was talking about. You charge it, and then when you see him, you lock on and pop. But he took a lot longer to come out than I expected. And that happens. It's hard to gauge where they're at by sound alone. Here we go. Pop 1. Pop 2. Burst. Pop 3. And pop 4. And now I've got to actually let Peril cool down. Now I could go ahead and purge Peril. The problem is that's DPS that's missing while I'm doing it, so it's more efficient to let it go naturally. 'Cause once I was down to about 30%, I was going to switch and do it again, but he was dead, so there was no point. No.
Sweet, sweet ammo here, priest. Axis 3, return fire!
You can see I had a moment of panic there. You can hear from the fast clicking. Clicking quickly does not actually make your swing any faster, as you can see. So you want to try to time your clicks with your swings. It's much more efficient and actually faster because you don't have that. If you click click, it causes issues. And you will wind up clicking a bunch of times and possibly staggering your swings to actually slow you down. So you're better off listening for the timing on your weapon and clicking accordingly.
Fracking typical.
Boom.
The next
No, no.
beyond your limited intellects. Trust to your data interrogators.
Got it? You got it. I'll come get this one. Oh, all three of them are centralized this time. That'll make this easier.
Data stream acceptable.
I thought I saw an enemy over here. I did not. Must have been a HUD symbol moving. It's a little easier to see the far off enemies if you relax your eyes a little bit and look for the movement instead. Our eyes are naturally designed to go by movement, then shape, then color. So if you're trying to find a shape and color that match an enemy, it's going to take longer than if you just look for the movement.
Data stream ceased. You are certain you installed the data interrogator correctly?
Yeah, somebody else killed him right before it went off.
First one's down.
Blew him in half. Who's the burster? I don't have a line on him. Oh, he's up there. Come around, come around, come around.
Your repeated failure is making me tested.
Well, at least I marked him for him.
Almost done.
I don't know why that didn't twig over. Maybe that's what they mean when they talk about how they broke the Psyker with the new update? That should have locked onto the guy up there. I don't know why it didn't. So I was holding left click the whole time he was visible. Alright, we'll just frontline. So one nice thing about that 10% chance on hit to brain burst something is it doesn't actually add to peril when it does it.
Interrogation approaching completion.
That's what I was looking for. Ammo!
Oh, not this side this time?
Medicate!
Oh, it is this side this time.
Surprised you managed that. The crime
This is the repair mission.
proceeds to the next phase.
No turning back now. Go there! Morrow fought in the second second war for Armageddon. Grimoire! He must be old.
I see it, I see it.
Perhaps we witness the sustaining power of faith. Medipack
Doesn't matter much to us, does it?
Seriously, nobody's gonna take the med pack? Hey Kentrell, grab that med pack.
This marks a point of no return. Plasteel. Kill the gunner. Ambush. Our lightning
You do have talent for killing, veteran.
Okay. Got quite a bit of blood on my sword now. Oh, hi there. They did make sliding a little bit more clunky too. That's alright. We'll make do. Excuse you?
die for my back.
Got him. Oh, that was a junk mob. I thought I had the bomber. Somebody else got him. Alright, fine. No. Whoa. Thank you for the sound alert. Saved my hide right there. That little swoosh sound right before you take a melee hit gave me just enough time to dodge.
There's no understanding scum.
So much damage. I don't know if it can ever.
So we have to take these capsules
System cascade
and plug them into the furnace down below.
grade restoration.
I find thy words incomprehensible, and thy tone ambiguous.
Now, while the game does crash annoyingly often sometimes, people that crash frequently honestly usually have something wrong with their setup. Not necessarily wrong, but not set to what the game recommends.
Task initiated. Deploy cryonic rods.
Alright boys, let's start.
This is rather heavy, isn't it?
Introduce rod to the cooling duct, varlet.
So we need to... Whoop! Nope, nope. Of course we got a doggo. Sniper. Now we're singing my song. Oh, they killed him right as I tried to set mine off. Why are you making the Psyker carry stuff? Oh, fine. You guys carry it. I have more pushback anyway, so...
The trapper's treachery is repaid.
Throw it up. Come on, dog.
Get this fucking thing off me!
Free the veteran.
Peter! Oh, that ain't...
Ooh, that would have killed me. Normally I try not to sacrifice my team to something like that, but that would have killed me. So will this, if they don't get their butts down here. Cantrell never grabbed the med kit, did he? This is also something you can't get away with in at least 4s. I don't know about 3s, but friendly fire becomes a thing. So just lobbing fireballs like that doesn't really work. Well, it works. It works really well, but it's not good for your group.
Should be a killer. I hope you're taking notes. Throwing grenade!
So there's our warm-up. That was messy in the extreme. And everybody's plenty high enough that they should have known better. But it is what it is. Well, better to die with honor than live as a traitor isn't just an Empire thing. Like, that's a core belief of a lot of people. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and switch our staves up. Looks like a damage reduction. Yeah, I don't have enough to actually upgrade it to purple. It looks like a damage reduction, and it is to some extent, but the CC that is this staff will help more with a group than otherwise. Of course, now it's going to give me all the assassins. I should have taken that 4 down arrow assassinate. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's going to give me a lot of money. And everybody's 30. 2 frontliners, a gunner, and then me. Neither one are running a bleed build. It's alright though, that can cause some serious damage. The two-handed chainsword is amazing in ways the one-handed is not. Like the force sword that I've got, it sticks on an enemy if you charge it, but you can charge it and nail the armored berserkers and chip through them, like, really quick. And drop some of the big guys. It's an interesting face tattoo on that preacher. So you can tell by the design of the head of the staff what their staff is.
What a smell! This air is barely...
Some of them are similar, but they're all slightly different.
It was abs once.
Of course, once combat starts, you can almost always tell what it is, too, if you know the staves.
We bring light to the lost and death to the faithless. Go down, right, and throw! Watch, learn, repeat, warning.
So not a lot of damage out of this, but it's going to keep stuff locked down where the guys can take their time to kill it. Whoa. Almost had an accident there. Whoa, hi. So we switch our playstyle up for... No. So I'm not going to get a lot of kills this time. I'm not even going to cause a lot of damage. My job is like what I did right there. Keeping things from jumping other people.
I think the bomb is dead, beloved!
The stench of corruption!
Nice.
The Holy Militarum sends its best. Fight with training. That's all it takes.
Ammo!
Grab, grab.
Flamer is slain!
As well as stuff's doing the electric boogaloo, it's not hurting my people. And these guys are moving more like a real squad. If you notice how everybody's grouped together, nobody's moving together, nobody's spread out. But see, that doesn't one-shot anymore.
Come on, beloved! Is delivered to judgment!
In 2 and possibly even 3 tier difficulties, that would have killed the Rager. In 4, it just inconveniences them.
It looks like a child's balancing puzzle. Not that I was ever allowed to play games.
Receive the Emperor's message.
Judgment, traitor! Islam no more!
I can't even kill him.
Kill.
So in essence, it's a bit of a carry for them to carry me. I'm not dealing near as much damage as I could be. But it's not really a carry. I am serving a role. It's just more of a supporting role.
Light upon you all.
Your end is nigh! Precious war! You are being judged!
Ooh. That shotgun blast to the face didn't really help. This is definitely more of a support class in the higher end content.
I don't want to do this!
No more trouble with that one.
Oh, hit the button, guys.
You've got incoming. Stand your ground.
I suppose.
And I got it for the team.
And bearing in mind, too, that the Psyker is extraordinarily squishy.
Blessed with his might.
I've nearly cleaned them all away!
So it's very important to keep in mind things like using your class skill not only pushes things back, but resets some of your peril. 50% of it to be accurate.
Such slaughter is the gift of the faithful.
Takes a lot more focus to play this class, though, being squishy, to keep from just getting raffle stomped.
I'll have it.
2 uses left, that puts everybody at full.
Coming, my Kenton.
Not more of them! This is you have to die!
I bring redemption!
Fanatics out of control!
Faith is the strongest weapon! You destroy it!
Never underestimate the knockback from the block push. Can save your ass. Woo!
Diamantine.
A lot of diamantine being found. I'm happy with that. And this is why good groups in the higher tier are so important. There is no way I would be able to pull this off solo, or with bots, or with a bad group with this staff. I just don't do the damage.
Pound's coming!
No, no jumping for you. Oops.
Hold your breath, Kindred. Rotten lungs serve no one.
No dog.
Is
for the cover. Did take some hits that I'm not happy about. But overall, I think we're being useful. Just things like keeping the front line from attacking the front line. Nope. No. No. Psyker's one of the few things that can stun those too.
Medicaid station! Someone's left a grenade in my dream.
Someone's left a grenade in my dream. I love my guy's personality. He is positively insisting that all of reality is his dream. Good cover. Good team. Let's wait on the other two.
Engaging. Focus fire.
Get the Rager's stunned so we can kill him like that. Oh.
Why does a tree hurt?
Hide from judgment, heretics!
Oh. Thankfully, there's no friendly fire with melee, regardless of difficulty. I think the game would be virtually unplayable at that point. Oh, I missed him. I don't know how I missed him, but I missed him. Miko saved me, though. That last 6% won't hurt. It'll be gone by the time I catch up. That Reaper's a problem.
You are the agent of death!
Good job, guys. That's a friggin' Nurgle beast. Now them I can't... Oh, it's not. It's a Plague Ogre. Not better. I can't stun them. Oh boy. There's two? That's just not fair.
I mean, Nug picked up the last script before we got to this section.
That was brutal. That was really super brutal. I don't know if there were two of them. I don't think you can have two monstrosities at the same time, but I swear that I saw him go upstairs and didn't see him come back down.
They are coming!
Trapper. Just keep these guys tied up. Just minimizing the damage. While they're dancing, they're not damaging.
Did you mean to hit armor?
This one's for Katie.
Oh, nice shot. I will
There you go, guys. Shields are open. I should have started with that. That was foolish. No shooting. Okay, that could have gone worse. That could have gone way worse. These guys are actually quite good.
Seems we're at the point of no return.
It helps that everybody has a role and everybody's performing it, everybody's staying together. I'm very happy with this group. In contrast to that tier 2 group, which just goes to show exactly what I was talking about. How you can't, see, he's even apologizing for things. And the last group was all 20 plus. And one was in the mid 20s, the other one was, or the other two were 30. So there's absolutely no reason they shouldn't have been functioning like this group. It's hard enough to find a particular weapon in the store, but when you have multiple staves to deal with as well, it's very difficult to find a better staff, because getting one to show up at all, just a staff to show up is difficult. Getting one that's the proper type to show up is more RNG, and then getting not only a staff but the proper type and better stats, that's 3 different RNG rolls against you.
You come to play, have you?
I don't think I can stun him. Whoa. So here's what we're gonna do. And keep this out so we can block. Okay. Switching. I need support from the Horde. I will give it. Okay. Now, even though it's not going to be the most useful, I'm going to Brain Burst. 1. Brain Burst 2. Special. Brain Burst 3. And Brain Burst 4. We're going to recharge, just in case another Horde shows up. There they are. I'm going to Electrify them. Oh, he's done. It's not my favorite class to play. It's really not. But... oh no. I just burst, yep. Pushed it too hard. It was over, why not, right? Now that's a lot of money. And a gun that I'll never use. But that's where we're at with our gameplay on the Psyker. It is much more a support character in the higher tiers. In the lower tiers, 1 and 2, it is your elite sniper, and with the right staff, you can decimate hordes. But in 3s and 4s, you're going to want to play more like that, where it's more support-based. You freeze stuff, lock stuff down so that the party can handle it. It's not my favorite to play, but it definitely makes life easier when there's one in the group, let me tell you. And that's where we're at. I don't know, did we even get any progress? A little bit. There were 2! There were 2! We only did 2 missions, we killed 3 monstrosities. There were 2 Ogrins in that. Holy crap. Wow. Let's see, and you can tell that I didn't do anything earlier because I only have 2 out of 3 on this. And 2 out of 25 on this. That's nuts. I have never seen 2 show up at once like that, but that... they handled it. They were game. Alrighty. So that is our Psyker showcase and the different play styles, why you would use what you would use, and the build that I'm using to do them. Let's sell off that gun and see what it's worth. You can see I've got quite the collection of staves. I'm still holding on to that because it's 300 and this one's 307, but it's blue, so I think that one will be better than that one when it gets up there. I was using this one till I got that one today, so we can actually scrap that guy. But yeah, I think that one's going to wind up being better all the way around than this one. Looks that way. And then this one can go away. And I think the same with this. It's white now. I think by the time it gets to purple, it'll be better. I don't know. I lose a lot of mobility. And finesse. The warp resistance is nice, though. So is the damage. We'll see what it rolls on it. That'll make the difference. But yeah, that's the Psyker in a nutshell. Mostly support in the high tier, excellent damage in the low tier. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, and I will be back next time with the Preacher, who is my absolute favorite to run, so that one's going to be exciting. Hopefully I can get a better knife before that happens. Alrighty. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It definitely helps. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.